Looks busy, yeah.
So scratch some nice flange mount. Ready?
Yep.
How cool is that?
Yeah.
Hi guys, I'm Dave, for those of you that don't know me, and today we're at the Mahker workshop and I'm going to be showing you what's new on our product list. Right, so many of you have asked about classic Defenders and how we created the look and how can you buy the parts. So now guys, we've launched these. So these are 6mm steel side rails. So these side rails guys are what you see there on Ethos. Obviously Ethos's ones are about 2 years old now, but these ones are literally fresh out the Galv tank yesterday. And you see there guys, very well made, fully MIG welded, blended. There's going to be some imperfections guys because this is galvanized. Those of you that don't know galvanized, it will cling to anything you don't want it to. So there will be an imperfection disclaimer for those that expect them to come out immaculate like a painted finish, but that's what it's all about guys. We want these to be rustic, a bit like the cappings. So these cappings here, if you run your hands over them, they're rough, they're rugged, and for me it's what a Landrover is all about, not being pretty and painted and living in London. So these guys will be available on the website guys. These are up for $550 plus the VAT. There's a long process with this. They come with all the bracketry, nuts, bolts, everything required to bolt on your Defender. And if you want a set, get in touch with me and I will get them on the website next week. So guys, I really appreciate everyone following and everyone subscribing and giving us some really good comments. So I've decided to give away a set in either 90 or 110, a set of these galvanized side steps. And what you have to do to win a set of these guys and qualify for it, I want you to like and share the post, share it on Instagram, share it on Facebook, and tag 2 of your friends who you think should appreciate a set of these.
All right guys, Chris here. We've realised whilst we're editing this video that what Dave's just asked you to do is far too complicated for me and Ben to keep track of, so we're going to keep this simple. Drop a comment below.
I've got a few options. I've got the checker plate raw aluminium for the classic look. I've got the black checker plate. I've got the fire and ice stainless steel and black rubber, and I've got the black stainless steel and the rubber. So you'll win one set, obviously for one car. So I want to know, why should we give you a set of these side steps? A set's going to be going on Churchill tomorrow, and I'm going to keep tuned to like Instagram to see how cool that's going to look, because check this out, the contrast against this car I think is just epic. Check that out.
And how much are these for someone who just wants to buy some?
So we're working on a price strategy for these in a minute guys. I'm going to do the first few sets. You're looking probably $450 plus the VAT. So it comes with all the fitting kit guys, all the brackets in a box, and then you're looking about £20 delivery because they're quite big and chunky and take a bigger packaging. So there you have it guys. And how cool does Churchill look? It's just awesome I think.
So Pete, what are we doing on the Unimog today?
Fitting this massive bumper and that tiny little winch down there.
Oh, just that little tiddler?
Yeah, it's like a mini winch.
So has it been a pretty simple process? Does it bolt straight on?
No,
or what do we have to do?
Basically, these were the original mounts that were on the chassis. I've had to cut them off, brace it all internally. These mounts here, you can't really see them very good, but they're standard Landrover because the customer wants it so that if anything happens, they can fit a standard Landrover bumper. Once these are all welded on, it'll bolt straight on.
So guys, an update on the Mog. Me and Paddy, the guy that owns this Unimog, we touched base and we were like, what can we do on the front? And we want to make this car off-roadable, we want to make the car reliable, and he also wants to make it fun. So we were looking in the workshop, and I have lots of things that are taken off cars. And this was actually bought by one of my clients, Will, and he said, Dave, graph this on the front of my Defender. And that monster was in the middle of it. And you want to see, look, this is comparison, and it's all there. That is a red winch, twin motor, twin ox motor, just brute of a winch. So I was literally thinking one night, I thought, I know, why don't we graph that on the front of there? This is a Devon 4x4 twin motor, sorry, an 8274 winch bumper. Big, very well made, bob on recovery points. So I said to Paddy, why don't you buy the whole kit off me and we'll graft it on the front of this Mog, and I think that looks cool. So what we've been doing, well, what should I say, is what Pete's been doing today is, if you look over there, and because we're all about recycling, this is actually the front end off a Defender, and this was given to me, actually, so this was given to me by Scott at Uproar. This was actually used for destruction testing on his winch vehicle, so it never gave up, basically to see if his winch bumper would collapse during, you know, load, etc. And he said, Dave, they're too good to scrap. So that is basically the front off a Defender chassis, for those of you that don't recognise it. And what we've done here is, because this bumper is designed for a Defender, we've basically grafted the dumb irons off that onto the front of this chassis. And Pete's going to fully weld them shortly, because this chassis was off a GMC military truck. So there's nothing available, you know, to bolt on. So a bit of custom fabrication, which is what we love in this place. And we're making this Defender bumper bolt on, bolt off. So if Paddy ever changes his mind or crashes this thing or whatever, bends it in the mud, he can literally just bolt another bumper on, off a Defender. Update on project move over. So we've got the tub back from the paint shop, and we've just been working on lining the exhaust up and basically getting all the rear end finished off. We've got a large oversized fuel tanks going to the back there. This is going to be having 125 litre fuel tank, because it is a very thirsty LT4. We've gone colour coded mirrors. I think this is a great touch on Defenders. A nice subtle mod that just amplifies the colour.
What's the latest with the 110, Bruno?
It is ready to go out the beach. So the 110, it's all been blasted, and man did it take some blasting. Oh, it was, yeah, that wax oil really does put up quite a fight. But if you have a look under here, it's now nice and shiny for the most part. It's a little bit dusty because I've given it a blow off, as you might see. Gave it all the sand a quick blow off, all the blow out the engine bay. And then, yeah, it can go out the booth now, go out my sand pit, go onto one of the ramps where we build them up. It can be built up. give it a nice valet, and then it can go. But the point we get it up to in here is after it's been blasted and painted, obviously when it's dried, so usually wait over a weekend usually, if I've obviously done it on a Thursday or a Friday. And that's the case with this. And then come in, press all the bushes in the arms, get the axles built up, get the axles on, all the suspension components in, and then we can take it out and yeah, get the next one in and get it built up in a nice clean environment.
Two horsepower.
Like, hey,
Put your foot down, Jacob.
And heavy showers across Scotland turning chilly, largely dry, cloudy and mild in the south.
So this is a client of ours, Lee's 110, and it's in for chassis works. If you look under there, everything above the chassis has been done and modified, but he's put it to us to tidy up the crust and the rust. So if you tune in next week, you'll notice that this rust and crust is going to get blasted away, and our 3-stage paint process will be hiding the shit that was there. Yeah. This is Baron Landrover's 110, and do you know what I love about this coating, guys? Look, I can rub it, I can touch it, and I don't get black. The black is already on my hands, by the way, it's ingrained. We've got rid of the wax oil, we've got all of the cruddy stuff, we've got rid of the horrible shuts, wax, crap, what it was. I noticed a bit of arguments between comments last week's episode. People saying, oh, well, because it's been wax oiled, that's why it's lasted. Maybe it has, guys, but anybody that is passionate about working on Defenders and knows that you have to work on them pretty often will hate it. Even Charlie that owns this Defender said, Dave, I used to hate it. He said, I used to like put off doing jobs on it because you're going to get plastered, guys, and no one wants to go under a car and get on their back at the best of times and get plastered in horrible waxy stuff. So here you have it, totally renovated, and today we're fitting loads of Gwyn Lewis Old Man Emu suspension. Charlie provided this is not one of ours. So we are fitting this stuff, really good products, and the lads have been busy today getting that on there, and I'll show you underneath right now. We've gone with galvanised A-frame arms. I'm a firm believer, guys, is when you take something off, if you can galvanise it and future-proof it. So what I do in exchange, so basically I keep the customer's old ones and we replace them with galvanised items. And galvanised, guys, is the most superior coating out there. It's why it's used on offshore. It's why it's used in the agricultural industry when manure and things are around. So there you have it. I've galvanised the arms. I've kept Charlie's old ones, and I'll be doing the process. They're currently in the acid bath, rotting the bushes out and burning them out. And then they'll be off to the galvanisers probably next week. You notice on the front here, so we've gone galvanised arms on the front as well. And we've gone Super Pro bushes throughout. So the car now is about to have new swivels and new brakes because they were past their sell-by date, let's just say the least. So we're giving, what we don't just do, guys, is do under seal treatment. When we do notice things that are worn out, we like to let the customer know and then replace things accordingly. So that's it for another week in the Mahker Workshop, guys. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next week. The lads right now are putting an LS3 6-speed auto into our mocking chassis, ready for an exhaust system.